The following podcast is brought to you by Pro Wrestling Connect, Australia's newest choice for event management and brand development specializing in pro wrestling.
And now, the B Plus Wrestling Podcast. Watch global. Support local. It's the B Plus Wrestling Podcast.
The moves.
B plus.
Check it out! Here we go! You wanna mess with us? 'Cause we're standing on the ground.
Alright, ladies, gents, and non-binary friends, welcome to another B Plus podcast. I'm your host, GregUnchained. Today is Friday. You know what that means. It's Aussie Grapps Day. It's our favourite day here on the B Plus podcast, where we sit down and take a look at everything happening in the world of Australian professional wrestling. And we also like to sit down and speak to an Aussie Grappler or Grappler adjacent person. I'm going to let you in on a secret. This is the show that almost didn't happen. You can call me Sub-Zero Pro, because that was a cheap shot. There's going to be a few of those in this episode. Basically, I didn't have an interview lined up. Well, I did. I was working on an interview, but timing just didn't line up. And then it was Thursday night, and I didn't have an interview. And I started thinking in my head, who can I get that Art by MRF will probably already have a piece of art done for? Who can I possibly talk to? And stepping in at the last minute to save the day, the best booker in Australia, Mr. Reliability, as we will come to know him, Will Kiedis, stepping in to save the day. One of the Style Boys, one of the Kelly gang. Thank you so much to Will Kiedis for coming on at such late notice. It was a really fun chat. You guys will get to hear that soon. But first, let's take a look at what's happening this week in Aussie Grapps news. Starting off first, overseas in definitely the pinnacle of the wrestling world in WWE, our very own Jonah Rock has made his debut as Bronson Reed on NXT TV as part of the Breakout tournament. He was taking on Samuel Shaw. His rename, I don't remember what his new name is, but he was taking on Samuel Shaw. I've got to get around these new names. Bronson Reed picking up the win, his first televised match in NXT, and our boy Jonah, Bronson Reed, picked up the win. Congratulations, Jonah Rock. Big fan. Obviously, if you go back in the archives, you can listen to an interview that we did with him after the first Iron Fist Pro show. It all comes full circle. Iron Fist Pro, we will get to shortly. I'm going to have a lot to say about that probably. Also happening overseas, Mick Moretti has been announced as challenging for the Chikara Grand Championship at Chikarasaurus Rex, which makes me so happy. He's been on a sneaky 3 points for a while. So in Chikara, they have a point system. Once you have 3 points, you can challenge for the title. Mick Moretti's been on 3 points for a while, but he hasn't been back. And so now he's heading back, and he's going to challenge for the Chikara Grand Championship at Chikarasaurus Rex. I'm going to assume, I haven't listened to the interview yet, but I'm going to assume you can hear a bit about that on Mike Quackenbush's interview with On the Turnbuckle. You guys, On the Turnbuckle spoke to Mike Quackenbush. Holy shit. That's definitely one that you got to listen to. I will be listening to it on repeat tomorrow as you guys are listening to this, hopefully. You know what? Turn this off. Go listen to the Mike Quackenbush interview. Mike Quackenbush is a god. And then come back and listen to the rest of this, because you got to hear Will Kiedis. Will Kiedis is amazing. He's not Mike Quackenbush, but he is the best booker in Australia. He is Will Kiedis, and you got to stick around to listen to that. Also, when we're talking about overseas wrestlers, we know that TJ Perkins is coming to Australia soon. He's also been announced now for EPW Hell or High Water, in addition to the shows he's doing for Wrestling Go and for Suplex. He's going to head over to Perth for EPW Hell or High Water. That is going to be a huge, huge show. Hopefully we'll get to talk to someone in the lead up to that. Scarlett Bordeaux vs. Avery was announced this week for Wrestle Rock. That very well may be match of the year in Australia. And no, I am not kidding. I honestly think Scarlett Bordeaux vs. Avery could be the best match, for my money, on Australian shores this year. Just putting it out there. And we have some fucking good matches. But Avery, Scarlett Bordeaux, Wrestle Rock. Enough said. Also in the world of MCW, Wrestle Rock Girl, all of that stuff, Slex. The MCW World Champion, you may have heard of him. He's the business. He wears the sunglasses. He is now a double champ. SPW and MCW champion. He's going to be challenged by JK Moody at the Ballroom Brawl this weekend. It's definitely one to get around. You can hear me talk about it at the end of the show when I give you all the rundown on what's happening near you. There's been a lot of really cool stuff online this week. Lochy Hendricks has cut some dope promos. Jessica Troy's promo, rebranding from the Destroyer to the Arm Collector. Mint. Fucking love that promo. It's so well shot. It's cinematic. She's cutting out the bits of paper, and at the end it's revealed, and it's amazing. She's the Arm Collector. She's the Arm Collector, and she's going to continue her arm collection at Call to Arms. You see what they did there? Call to Arms, Arm Collector. It's amazing. Matty Wahlberg cut a promo for MCW this week. He's going down to the Ballroom Brawl. He's got TK Cooper and Dowie James. He cuts an individual promo for each of them. It's a fire promo, as Matty Wahlberg promos always are. He did at one point mention going out on the town after the show in Melbourne to party with all the prettiest blonde girls. Now, our very own Riley, she took exception to that when I showed her that promo. She's like, how can he party with the prettiest blonde girls when I don't move to Melbourne for a while? The prettiest blonde girls in Melbourne is what he meant, Riley, for fuck's sake. Anyway, moving on to the big topic that I guess I should talk about, Sub-Zero Pro. The topic on everyone's lips at the moment. Riot City Wrestling sent out a release yesterday morning, as well as listening to this on Friday. It came out Thursday morning, so it was this morning for me as I'm recording this anyway. They sent out a release basically claiming that the Sub-Zero Pro show was about to be cancelled. Sub-Zero Pro management pulled out at the last second. Sub-Zero Pro management, of course, we know as Ayden, used to do the show with us for a while. He also has been on the show, on this very show, talking about Iron Fist Pro when it was Iron Fist Pro. So Iron Fist Pro had a couple of rough shows. The Wrestle Rampage show looked to me from the outside as not a success, but it looked as a promising start for a new promotion. He was working with Wrestle Rampage. Jonah seemed pretty high on it. It was, he got to wrestle Hideki Suzuki. It was amazing. And there were some really good matches on the show. The crowd was very underwhelming. The venue was cool, but also problematic. The venue staff were jerks to the wrestlers. I did see that as I was hanging around to wait for the interview with Jonah Rock. They were real jerks to the wrestlers. They were unhappy that they didn't make as much money because there weren't as many people as they'd been told would be there. And so it wasn't a success, but it looked like it had promise. Now, apparently, from what I'm hearing now, from people's tweets, you could do a whole documentary, apparently. According to One AJ History, you could do a whole documentary on the stuff that was actually happening behind the scenes at that show. So maybe we'll get an Iron Fist Sub-Zero Pro documentary one day. I might make that happen. Yeah, it'd be too expensive. It wouldn't be worth it. Anyway, and then they had their second show, which famously the venue didn't get booked for whatever reason, and they had to change venues at the last minute, and they ended up shacking up with ACW, who I am friends with a lot of the guys in ACW. And so they shacked up with ACW and put on a show in their venue, which, there were problems with the ring, allegedly. There were problems with talent not showing up. The Street Gang Hooligans were booked on the show in a tag title match against the Velocities and the Pareja. It became just the Velocities versus the Pareja, and there were no tag titles anywhere. No announcer told us what was happening. No announcer said, oh, sorry about this. When trying to speak to Ayden to figure out what happened with that, it was all vagaries and no answers and constant avoidance and ghosting, even just ignoring messages, completely ignoring messages. Tried to get him to have a chat after the show. He kind of fucked me at that show, put me on the door, not the door list, the door. He actually had me at the door, serving people coming in buying tickets with no float whatsoever, no change, just a bunch of $50 notes. How am I meant to let people in when they want to pay $20 for a ticket and they've got a $50 note and all I've got are $50 notes? How am I supposed to do that? This doesn't make sense. And he also had pre-sold tickets with some scanner app that he didn't put on my phone. He didn't tell me how to use. Man, it was a clusterfuck. There was the food and drinks weren't even cold. There was all sorts of things going wrong at this second Iron Fist show. And it kind of showed, and I talked about it at the time. I was like, look, I wasn't happy with it. And a lot of the wrestlers weren't happy with it from what I could see. It was kind of a clustermuck, but there was some good wrestling. And that's what I want. I want good wrestling. And there was some good wrestling on these shows. But he's got a good eye for talent, but not much else, man. And I mean, anyone can pick good talent, If you watch enough wrestling, you know what good talent is. I pick good talent. Pretty much everyone on my wrestlers you may not have heard of but should pay attention to in 2019 because they wrestle good and do other stuff good too episode has come good for me this year. pretty much everyone that I picked. Those that didn't fall to injuries have gone on to do fantastic things this year, and their profile has risen. And, I have an eye for talent too. Does that mean I can book a promotion? Absolutely not. There are a million other things to learn before you can book a promotion. There is so much that goes into it, right down to that stuff like having people to cover the door, like having security, like having... Man, there's just so much to it. The canteen, all of it. The things that go into a wrestling show are countless. And we don't show enough respect to that. Promoters have a hard job. Promoters have a real hard job. And you cannot just be a fan and think, I can do that. And then do it when you don't have money, when you don't have the skills. It's not going to work. It's just not going to work for you. And I tried to say this to Ayden after the second show, and I said it to people who started to work with Ayden as well. I said it to a few people who started to work with Ayden, and I was just like, I don't know if you should... Look, I'm just going to tell you my experience. This was my experience in trying to help him. When it gets crunch time towards the show, because in the lead up to the second show, I would start messaging him. I would be like, hey man, how come the venue hasn't been announced on the Facebook yet? Like, you've told me where it is. How come the venue hasn't been announced? Oh man, we're still ironing it out. It'll be announced soon. And then that venue never got announced. How come this hasn't happened? How come that hasn't happened? Oh, it'll happen. Or he would avoid. That was the other thing he would do. He would make some sort of vague excuse, or he would avoid. He would disappear. He'd disappear for days at a time. I'm trying to help him with things. He would disappear for days at a time. It becomes impossible to do that. So I relayed my experience to people that had expressed interest at the second show of helping him for a third show. And I let them know, like, here's the things that happened. Here's where I knew shit was going off the rails because he started disappearing and acting weird. And I don't know if he's clueless or if he's a con artist. I do not know which one it is. I'm leaning more towards the clueless side of things because a con artist doesn't just disappear. They keep conning, right? They keep conning. I've watched that Fire Festival show. They just keep conning until the very end. And even then, they keep conning, right? That guy moved on to a new con, didn't he? It was in a hotel at the end. I don't know. Anyway, so I relayed this to other people and said, look, I don't know if he's clueless or a con artist. Probably clueless. But either way, I don't think this ends well for you. Maybe don't. And they were like, look, we'll keep our name off it, but we're going to help him out. And they started helping him out. And then as we lead into that, they rebranded for some reason. No one can tell me why they rebranded. Just no, actually, the promoter Ayden did tell me. He was like, no, it's because there was an Iron Fist Pro in the UK. And I'm like, there was an Iron Fist Pro in the UK already. Clearly, you're rebranding to get the stink off you, like to wash the stink off. But we're not dumb. Like it's still in Adelaide. It's still got the same MO, a big Japanese international and a bunch of interstaters. And when they announced the show, they were like, Takashita, visa confirmed, flights confirmed. Now, so I got messages from guys about a week ago. I got messages from the guys who I knew were helping him out. And they were like, we think shit's going bad. He's starting to act like you described. And so when he started to act like you described, we were asking him about Takashita's flights. When he started to act like you described, we decided to look into it. So they had screenshots of his flight booking reference or what have you. And they looked it up online and they realized that there was no e-ticket generated. So this is about a week ago. Yeah. And they've let him know. They've let Ayden know this. And so I'm getting stories from all sorts of people, just so you know. Like, there's a bunch of people telling me stories. I'm not going to tell you who these people are, but there's a lot of people telling me stories. One of them even is Ayden, and I will give his story as well. I invited him to come on the show to give you his story. He didn't want to do it. That's fine. I'm still going to give you the story because we need to learn from this. It makes Australian wrestling look really fucking bad when this shit happens. Wrestlers need to not work with people who are like this. Right? Davis Storm tweeted that out. Fucking thank you, Davis Storm. Right? 3 strikes and you're out. We can legislate against this if we choose better who we work with. Don't just go for any payday. I was shocked when I heard there were wrestlers still angling for a third show. Like, have some fucking pride, boys. Have some pride. Australian wrestling is fantastic. We do not just need to take any $50 fucking payday from some schlub who's probably not going to come through. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I keep getting sidetracked on tangents and getting emotional about it because I want Australian wrestling to be great. I want Australian wrestling to be as great as it is in PWA and MCW. Like, Australian wrestling is phenomenal right now. We don't need this shit. We don't need this shit. So the flights, they've looked up the flights and there's no e-ticket. Okay. They let Ayden know this. Ayden disappears for a couple of days, then he comes back and he's like, I'm working on it. Then he's like, I can't get through to the site that I bought the tickets from. I think they're a scam site. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. From what I can see, Ayden has shown me proof that he did pay for these flights for Takashita. $1,500. He used the Skyscanner app. It put him through this company called Travel to Be. Okay, that's an important one. Travel to Be. Remember that? If you want to book a show and you want to book some flights, don't do it with Travel to Be, because here's what happened. They charged him for the tickets, and they never produced an actual ticket. They just had the flight booking confirmation and some weird thing going on the website. So it looked like he had flights, but there was no ticket attached to that. Now, from what I know, so this is all allegedly, from what I know, Ayden knew this ahead of time. He knew this about a week out. He got messages from people. Whether he read them straight away, I do not know. He does that. He disappears. It's weird. He got these messages from the people that are working with him that there's problems with the tickets, and he didn't look into it straight away. Now, from what I hear, Takashita shows up at the gate on the day of his flight on Wednesday, and they tell him you have no ticket. And he gets on the phone to DDT, and DDT get on the phone to Ayden, and Ayden gets on the phone to Travel to Be, and Travel to Be are like, oh, look, we don't know what's going wrong, but to fix it, it's going to cost you $4,000. So it does sound like Travel to Be is a fucking scam, right? They didn't produce the ticket, they fuck up on their end, and then they hit you with exorbitant fees to try to fix their fuck up. That makes zero sense. That sounds like a scam to me. And I have seen the proof that it was paid for, and there was a flight, and there was an itinerary, and all of this stuff. Like, I've seen it. I've seen it with my own eyes. The visa was real, the tickets, the flight was real, the tickets weren't. I've seen this. So I can vouch for this. He did pay for those tickets, and I feel bad that he's been fucked there. But at the same time, you got to take responsibility for who you do business with. And if you're going to go on, even I know Skyscanner is not great. I use cheap flights, right? cheapflights.com.au, and I don't fly much. I don't have but when I do, I use cheap flights. It's way better than Skyscanner. Every time you go to Skyscanner, you get the pop-ups on your website. It's not a good site. And you got to know that if you go for the cheapest, like even on cheap flights, I don't go for the cheapest unless it's like an airline I know, like a Jetstar. If they're the cheapest, I'll be like, oh, well, I've flown Jetstar. I can trust that, right? But I don't know, man. If it takes you through this random Travel to Be place, I don't know what you're doing. Like, maybe don't do that. Maybe work with reputable people, even if it costs you a little bit more money, because you're probably going to be safer in the long run. Anyway, that's a lesson to learn from this. I guess at the end of the day, it does look like Sub-Zero Pro Ayden here got scammed. It does look like that, and I feel terrible for the dude. But at the end of the day, you got to take it on the chin. You got to announce it. You don't just run away. You don't run away when you are presented with problems in anything, but especially in a business as hard as fucking wrestling. Chin the fuck up, soldier on. You take it on the chin, and you do what you got to do to make the best out of a bad situation. He did not do that. Riot City Wrestling stepped in and saved the day. They rebranded the show. The show that was already rebranded from Iron Fist to Sub-Zero Pro has now been rebranded to Riot City Wrestling, The Death of Sub-Zero Fatality. Fucking savage, guys. Savage name of the show. I love it. I popped huge for it. It's amazing. At the end of the day, it sucks. Takashita's not coming, obviously. No one was able to, I don't know, able or willing or what happened, but the $4,000 for the flights didn't happen. I know Chris Basso was shredding fucking hard for this match with Takashita. It could have been the best match of his career, quality-wise, potentially, and now it's not happening. I feel bad for Basso. I feel bad for every fan that bought a ticket. I feel bad for every person that decided to work with Ayden. But you know what? I warned people. I warned people. And I say all this with love in my heart, too. Like, I love Ayden. Like I said, I think he's just clueless. I don't think he's a bad guy. I don't think he's deliberately trying to scam anyone. But he does lie. He does lie. He lies a lot. And I think it's out of fear. But I won't do business with someone who lies. Okay? And I gave him the opportunity to come on the show and do this so that I could confront him and say the things that I have to say and let him tell his story himself. But he unfortunately didn't want to do that. This, to me, is not a man who should be involved in wrestling. You need to own your mistakes. You need to speak to the people. And you need to man up a little. You need to man up a little. And I say that with all the love in my heart. I really do. I really do. I don't have any ill feelings toward him. He did eventually pay me for being on the door at that show. He did eventually pay everyone from show 2, from what I hear. There are still people who claim to have not been paid from show 1. And apparently there were other shows, like Indy Hartwell chimed in on Twitter saying that she got booked for a show, and then 2 weeks before the show, she messaged to say, hey, where are my flights? And he was like, oh yeah, the show got cancelled. What? Dude, she's put you in her booking calendar. Like, she could have taken another booking on that day. What are you doing? This is people's careers. Twitter has been savage. AJ Istria doing the hashtag Iron Fist Memories. It's been brutal. And so I want to say this. Like, and I feel like most people are doing pretty well with this. They're keeping it on a professional level, and they're not making personal attacks. I think I've probably gotten more personal than anyone, to be honest. So I want to make this clear. Like, at no point should we start bullying Ayden. At no point should, like, I look at the Twitter stuff and, you know, people like Davis Storm or Indy Hartwell sharing their stories. The Street Gang Hooligans was one that really opened my eyes because it just showed me another lie that Ayden told me and told everyone. Alex Kingston weighed in on Twitter and was like, hey, I didn't need 3 strikes. He's in replying to Davis Storm. I don't need 3 strikes. I only need 1 strike because he booked us for a show, and then 2 days before the show told us he couldn't afford to bring us out, and then when the boys at the show asked where we were, they were told we didn't want to be there. What? Why? Why lie? I don't understand this. I'm all about radical honesty, man. Just put it all fucking out there. There's no reason to lie. Lying only ever makes things worse. But I guess, I mean, in wrestling, you're probably going to get liars and carnies, right? Like, that's what it is. I don't know. All I know is I don't want this to step over the line and become bullying. I'm a big proponent of mental health and awareness around the damage that our words can do. Words are so powerful. We need to be real careful with our words for both good and bad. We want to put good out there in the world. Davis Storm's tweet is the perfect example of this. Other people sharing their experiences is fine as well. I'm going to share my experience as well, of course. But the big thing is making sure that we try to put something positive out of it. And Davis Storm did this perfectly. Like he said, we can legislate against this. We can be better by choosing who we work for better, right? He's speaking to other workers, obviously. And that's what we have to take from this. We have to look at this shitty situation and be like, what can we learn? And let's not just pile on him. Like, people that are tweeting about, 3 months is going to be another fighting game reference pro, or, I said from the beginning this promotion was, like, there are people out there that are just dogpiling at this point, and that's not cool, right? In a situation like this, he's failed hard, man. He's failed hard 3 times in a row. Yeah, you got to worry about his mental health. Maybe instead of picking on him, maybe reach out and just be like, hey, man, hope you're okay. I know that I've said some shit, but, like, I hope you're okay. I hope you've learned some lessons. I hope you're able to dust yourself off, because that's what I really hope for Ayden. I hope he is able to learn some lessons. I hope he is able to dust himself off. I don't think he should try to run in the wrestling business until he's done a lot of growing. But that's how it is, man. Sub-Zero Pro, dead. Fatality. The final blow from Riot City Wrestling with that fucking poster. So good. And with that, ramble over. With that, let's go and have a listen to my last minute chat with Will Kiedis. It is getting very late. Let's listen to my last minute chat with Will Kiedis, and after that, I will hit you up with what's happening this weekend near you.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
This month, we are sponsored by Grapple, a fantastic new wrestling app available on iOS and Google Play, completely for free, where you can rate all the matches that you watch in WWE, Impact Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling, all across the world, and we are even getting Australian wrestling involved in the Grapple app rating system as well, starting with PWA Pro Wrestling Australia. Their Green Label event from the other week is up there. The Black Label event, All Eyes on Troy, is up there. And the last 2 years of events, at least, are up on Grapple right now for you to rate so that people can get around our Aussie wrestling and see that we are just as good as anywhere else in the world. Basically, Grapple is a Rotten Tomatoes for wrestling. Now we all get a say. It is the democratization of match rating systems for pro wrestling. It's amazing. So I get a say, you get a say. You can follow me on there at GregUnchained. You can follow Big Boy Mikey at B+_Big Boy. At Mr. Mysterious is on there. At Danders is on there. At Jay is on there. We're all on there rating the matches that we watch. So follow us. We'll follow you back. Let's build this community and get as many Australian wrestling fans onto the Grapple app as we can. You can download it right now. It has over 30,000 matches on there going back to 1985, 15 promotions around the world. There's so much to do on the Grapple app. It's a great little community, so get around it. It's Grapple, GRAPPL.co, and it's for free on App Store and Google Play. Get around it. Hey everyone, just want to take a second to tell you about one of our new sponsors, Outbreak Nutrition. Outbreak Nutrition are creating supplements for survival, sharper minds, quicker reflexes, all the energy you need to take your performance to the next level, whether that be on the field, in the gym, on the gaming field. That's right, they have specifically designed gaming supplements as well to help you focus on those late night sessions. They even sell coffee, you guys, at Outbreak Nutrition. You can get coffee pods, you can get coffee beans, you can get supplements for the bedroom as well if you want to enhance your performance there. These are performance enhancing supplements for every aspect of your life, specifically designed by gamers, for gamers, to stay fit and healthy in the gym, to stay sharp and focused on the game, and to dominate in all areas of life. So check out outbreaknutrition.com, and for being a listener of our podcast, they will give you 10% off your order when you enter the code B+. That is BPLUS at checkout. So make sure, if you want to stay on top of your game, if you want to take your performance to the next level, outbreaknutrition.com, enter the code B+ at checkout. Hey guys, just a reminder, if you want to hear all of these wonderful B+ podcast episodes completely ad-free, make sure you head over to Patreon or Podbean, where we are the featured podcast this week. You can subscribe for as little as $1 a month up to $10 a month, where anything you want to help us with, it really helps out. It's going to help us grow the site. It's going to help us redesign some things, and everything that we get through this and through the advertising as well is all going straight back into the podcast so that we can get Aussie Grapps out there for the rest of the world to hear about, for the rest of the world to see, so we can grow this mission of watch global, support local, and build indie wrestling. So if you want to be a part of that and get some really cool rewards like call-in shows, bonus episodes, ad-free like I mentioned, then head over to patreon.com/theb+ and subscribe today. Alright, joining me now by the magic of the internet, once again, as long as my connection holds up. Australian internet really is the worst. All the way from Sydney, he is the best booker in Australia.
Yes.
Mr. Will Kiedis, how are you, brother?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. It's great to have you back on the show. Last time we had you,
Yes.
we were talking about IWA, and you were doing you were the best booker in Australia.
Still am, yeah.
Yeah. Has anyone else given you a shot? I know that you were posting out tweets just being like, if anyone wants their show booked for me, here's my email.
Look, I gave it a go. I'm like, that was a lot of fun. I tried to give it a go to see if anyone wanted that aspect as a part of their show, but no luck so far. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, I'm putting it back out there into the universe because
Absolutely.
that show was great.
Up. Yeah.
It was a great show, and we have you to thank for that.
All thanks to me.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we'll put that back out there. If anyone wants their show booked by, I think at this point, with a track record 1-for-1, best booker in Australia.
And look, Australian wrestling is killing it so far, but there's a couple shows that could use my help. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're not restricting yourself to New South Wales, right? Like you'll go.
Absolutely not.
Maybe Sub-Zero Pro might need a new booker.
Maybe I think they might, eh?
Yeah, might be worth a shot.
Yeah.
But before we get to the best booker era
That's
of your
mad
career,
pop, by the way.
I had to get it in there somewhere.
Yeah, fresh off the press.
Yeah. We're recording this episode very late, by the way. Like, I normally like to have my episodes recorded by Wednesday afternoon for the release on Friday, like the interview portion. But you've stepped in very last minute because, you know, other people may be harder to get a hold of.
Apparently.
But we'll talk about that next week, maybe. So
Mr. Reliability, they call me.
yeah, Mr. Reliability, best booker in Australia.
Always count on me.
Stepped in to save the day, as you do. And I really appreciate it, man. I really appreciate it. So we're Thursday night doing this.
No problem. Yeah.
It's unusual for me. I've
Is it night time in Adelaide? What? I don't know the time zones.
Yeah,
I'm
half hour behind you.
Half hour. Oh, there you go. I thought it was like 3 hours or something. I'm going to sound like a
No, that's Perth.
idiot right now. Okay.
Yeah, that's Perth. So in Perth right now, it's still like 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But I've had to, like, we're approaching my kid's bedtime, and you were like, yeah, I can do it, man, in the next hour. So I'm like, okay, iPad for the kids then. So I'm doing the bad dad thing. Yeah.
Bad dad. That's fine. That's fine.
But let's go all the way back to the beginning. Let's get the Will Kiedis story, because last time we didn't get to get the Will Kiedis story, right? Last time it was all about the show. This time we're going to focus in on you. When do you first remember sort of discovering wrestling?
Discovering wrestling.
Yeah,
okay. I'd have been like 5 years old, roughly. It was like real early on, because my dad was a fan, sort of thing, and it was just, I guess it was one of those things where it was like, it was just always on as far as I can remember. I actually remember, like, my earliest memory was bloody when Undertaker came back as, like, the motorcycle guy.
Right,
and just
keep
beat
rolling.
Yeah, and just beat up DX. That was, like, the first thing I remember, and I was like, shit, this is fucking... Sorry, can I swear?
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, I did now anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
That's fine.
But, like, I'm just like, yeah, this is cool stuff. Like, and I was pretty much hooked then. Like, I know everyone sort of, like, drops out of watching wrestling in stages, but I never really did. So that's how I'm kind of here now, because I just never really grew out of
fell
it.
out. Yeah, because I fell out for a while. Like, I still loved wrestling, but just what was on the telly wasn't really doing it for me, you know?
Yeah, no, I get it. There were some dark moments there.
Yeah, when Miz and Dolph Ziggler are your top guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
just for me personally. Sorry. Although Miz is coming to his own now. But anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
When did you decide? When did you make the leap and go, okay, so I've been a fan of this thing forever. I'm going to go learn how to throw myself at the ground really hard.
Yes, well, it was about 4.5 years ago. I started training at APWG, which you've mentioned. Yeah, you've trained there before, correct?
Yeah, with Jay Law.
With Jay Law, yeah, who's I think is like super underrated in this country. Not just because he's my trainer, like that sounds biased, but he's really, really, really good, and
yeah, man. I remember
more people should know about him, eh?
I remember watching I remember doing Ring Crew and watching him and Iron Jay. AWF shows and stuff. And just, yeah, man, I'm a big fan of Jay Law, and again, obviously, I was trained by him too, so we're a bit biased, probably.
I think we like just missed each other though. So I came in like early 2015, and I think you might have like left by that point, from what you're saying.
Yeah.
Before,
yeah. Basically, yeah. When my missus got pregnant and we moved interstate, I had to give up the wrestling train and stuff. So
gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. Life happens, you know. Life happens.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we would have just missed each other, like by probably 6 months.
Yeah. Right. So like I was like 18 or 19 at that point, and like I'd always wanted to do it, but I didn't know if there was any good places around. Like, I didn't know much about Australian wrestling. To be honest, like, I didn't think it was like that like that good from the little I've seen. So I'm like, it wasn't. And I also, like, I thought there wasn't really like a way to be successful by doing it, sort of thing. But then, like, slowly we started building the scene, and now that's a real possibility. But at the time, it was like I wasn't sure if I was able to do something out of it. And then my mate started training there. It was like my mate from primary school. Like, we've been mates for like years and years. And he started doing it. And he's like, dude, you got to come do this. Like, you have to do this, sort of thing. And like, I went to one of their VIP shows, if you remember those ones.
Yeah. I've been to
a few of those, yeah. The training, like, dojo shows, sort of thing.
Was this still at the back of Mass Nutrition there in Penrith?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, at the back. So, like, they started at the front of Mass Nutrition, like, at the, like, out in the open.
Yeah, well, they did one where they were...
Yeah.
What, J-Lo used to do the ones with the wrestling mascots.
Yeah, so I can't remember the name of it, but there was
So
like
good.
this superhero ones. Yeah, whenever he tells me about it, there's a lot of pops in there. It's so bloody funny.
People
And,
dressed
like,
up as food wrestling and stuff. It's amazing stuff.
It's the damnedest thing.
There's got to be footage out there somewhere, right?
Has to be. I'll try and track some down.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah. So like they did that, and then like they put it out back where there was like a little place where we had our training, and they do shows there. So yeah, I saw a show there. Then I was just like, yeah, like I got to do this. I signed up then and there, and started training like pretty much that week. So yeah.
Right. So who else was in your class? Like that's still doing it?
Okay, so like from who started at who was already there was like Paris, Sam Osborne, Keegan, Caesar, Diego, those sort of guys.
Yeah.
But my partner, Brad Alexander, we started the same time. Not the same day. So I started. He started a week after me, so it's kind of like, hey, you know how you have those annoying twins where they're like, oh, I'm like 2 hours older than you, but like they're born on the same day.
Yeah.
That sort of shit.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that. I always just say like Brad and I, we started at the same time, but he was a week later, but who cares about those unimportant details. But yeah, so he started, and then there wasn't really much after that besides as far as guys on the scene currently. But yeah, but they had a lot of guys already there, like Paris and Osborne, who are doing really cool stuff now. So yeah.
Yeah. And so how long into training was it before you actually made your debut?
Well, it was too fast, if I may say so. Like I love wrestling and stuff, but like it was only like 5 months maybe, and like at the time I'm like, yeah, cuz I'm ready for this, but like I wasn't. So like,
right.
not because of the training. The training was fine. It was just like, yeah, like that's just. But you just got to kind of get thrown out there and sink or swim that kind of stuff. And it was just like, yeah, it was on the dojo training shows as well, but it was against 5-Star Flash as well. So we kind of have that little bond. It was my debut match.
Yeah.
Huge. Against the owner of FWA. How about that?
Yeah. Maybe he should get you to be the best booker in Australia again.
Maybe he should. He's got bloody Frankie B there. That should be my role.
Yeah. When they were announcing that there was going to be a general manager, I was like, it's got to be Will Kiedis, right?
It's got to be me. So did I, but it's not.
You're like, that's funny. They're putting this up on social media. No one's rang my phone. What's going on?
No, it was very weird. I know. Very, very weird. But, you know, there's a lot more FWA shows to come. You never know.
Fivey, you've got his number, all right?
Come on, Fivey. You had my debut match. Does that not mean anything to you?
It's got to mean something, right? So I was talking to the hooligan Marcus Cool last week, and
great guy.
Great guy. Top dude. And he was saying that you know, he debuted like 3 years after starting training, because he started at 14, like England, man. England's fucking crazy. So, and I was saying to him, like, yeah, the people over here, like, sometimes it's like 5 weeks, 6 weeks, and they're getting in the ring for the first time.
I know a lot of guys, it's like a month or two or something, which there's pros and cons to it, but yeah, I don't know.
Did you have your gear sorted and stuff yet?
Absolutely not. No. So, like, J-Law tried to do this gimmick where, like, the trainee wrestlers were, like, that was their whole thing. They were trainees. So, like, I came out in, like, Nike shorts and, like, knee pads and shitty little, like, runners.
Yeah.
And, like, with the generic sort of, like, trainee music and stuff. Like, I was the trainee sort of thing. And then my shoot name. And just, like... Same with Brad. Like, because we've debuted on the same show. We were just, like... as trainees for the first few shows, so it was just like,
and
little
shitty
gym
personality
shorts
as it goes along. Because I remember Keegan debuting the same way as like a trainee, and then he eventually got the pants with the smiley face and shit. Classic pants, classic type,
classic, absolutely. I think that was the Japanese influence Lee had. It was sort of like a young boy kind of thing.
Yeah, the young lion.
Because he trained heaps in Dragon Gate and like over in Japan, so he kind of wanted to bring similar style here where it was like the first few months where like trainees or young lions, that sort of stuff, and then sort of slowly progress into our own like personalities and characters and that sort of thing. So it's a cool idea, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. So you've mentioned Brad Alexander a couple of times.
Yeah.
When did you guys start doing the teaming thing? How did that all come about?
That was a weird one because like for the first like year or so, I wrestled him like heaps of times, like so many times, because we were always just like trying to get booked places, and we were like the two newest sort of graduates of APWG, so they're just like, oh, we'll put them together. So there was a lot of that for the first like 8, 10, 12 months or so.
Yeah.
And then I think it was like one of the APWG shows, they decided to team us up because they're doing like a tag tournament. They're like, oh, you guys are pretty similar. You get along. Like, we'll just chuck you guys together, that sort of thing. And then it was someone's idea. I can't remember who. And then like, it was something for like Wrestling Go. We started doing stuff there, and then we're like, we wanted to get onto that. So we're like, our best bet is probably as a team. So then we just sort of like, from there we just sort of committed to teaming together in order, I guess, to get booked more places. So
to help with the bookings,
because
there was a thirst for tag teams at the time, or
I guess so. There always kind of is like it goes in waves and stuff, but at the time there was like, we thought at least there's no tag teams around our sort of scene. So like there was some great ones obviously, but then we thought, I guess, to stand out, we could stand out more so as a team. So we just we tried our hand at that, and
yeah, awesome. And of course you guys famously have become the Kelly Gang.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
when does Jackson Kelly come in and, as he puts it, save you from Penrith?
That's some great stuff there. Quality stuff. No, so because he came along after doing the Rollins stuff about 2 years ago or so, and that was right when Brad and I started doing IWA more. So we started doing that more just as Starboys, as our own just tag team stuff. And then Kelly came along, and then it was just an idea someone had at Fighting Spirit 2. So I think it was that one. Yeah, so when Kelly was wrestling Chris Abbott in the ladder match, so they wanted to sort of have a spot for us on the show, but like we weren't quite there yet. So they're like, how about you just come in and interfere in Kelly's match sort of thing, help him win. And I think like that was supposed to be it, kind of like,
right,
it was just supposed to be for that night, just have a little spot, little interference spot and sort of thing. And then like the next month it's like, oh well, you guys helped him win, like how about you like help him win again at the St. John's Park show. And then it sort of just like kept going, and then here we are now, I guess.
Right. Well, so
just
yeah, so it was on like the day of the show kind of thing. It was just like,
day of the show, absolutely, yeah. Because I went like not knowing, I was just going to do like ring crew and see if there was, because I heard rumblings that like we might have something for you, might not, don't know. I'm like, sweet. And then someone was just like, just go and interfere in Kelly's match. I'm like, no problem, I will do that.
So always show up and help out with your gear.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Fellas, always bring your gear.
That's paid off for you a couple of times, I assume? Because
couple times,
yeah. Because I know that, I mean, you've made your PWA debut proper as part of the Kelly Gang, because the Kelly Gang is still going. But you were in a Battle Royal as well at one point. Was that another one of those situations where it was just like, I was here, I had my gear?
Where at, sorry?
At PWA. Yeah.
Yes, I was, yes. Sort of, yeah, that was another one of those, like, I'm going to be here, I got my gear sort of thing, and it was like, we'll put them on, that sort of thing. So, yeah, always bring your gear, guys. It'll get you places, sort of. I
Yeah.
guess.
Is it so? Like, I still struggle trying to wrap my head around like wrestling politics and this promotion and that promotion, and blah blah. In some states, it's worse than in other states. But is it a matter of like within the scene there, you can just go and help out at shows and just be around and stuff like that, or is are some of the companies kind of closed off and it's like, no, this is just our people kind of thing?
I don't know. Like I didn't really say it as closed off. Like you just when I was like starting up and stuff, I just like you know some guys and you go help out at ring and that'll help in regards to like networking and connections. But I haven't really come across anything to where it's like, no, you can't help out or you can't be associated here. So like, I don't know how it is in other places, but yeah, no.
Yeah, I think it is. It's
here,
different everywhere. It's different everywhere.
Yeah,
so.
it would be. Yeah.
Yeah, because I hear different stories about down here. Like a few people that I've talked
Sure,
to.
yeah.
I think things are relatively closed off, like very segmented in Adelaide.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And then
yeah.
they always compare it to Melbourne. So I was just curious how Sydney is, because Sydney looks like it's not like that, but I can never tell.
Yeah, no, it's pretty. Yeah, it's pretty inclusive. Like that's because I'm with PWA now, like training there, and they're very inclusive in regards to like it doesn't matter like who you wrestle for or that sort of thing. Like they'll accept anyone if you want to rock up to a training session. Like there's no harm in that. There's no like no one's going to talk shit about that or anything. It's just we all just want to get better. So it's everyone's just sort of
right. So everyone's just working together to, and that's when
Absolutely,
the scene starts to fucking explode too, right?
Yeah.
Like we can see how well things are going in Sydney and Melbourne, and so any other states listening, let's just let everyone work together and be a big happy fucking wrestling family. Even I mean, because there's still going to be people who have heat with other people and all that sort of stuff, right? Like it's not like that doesn't happen, but business is
sure,
business.
yeah, but it's if we work together and if it's like if everyone works together and tries to be better and sort of thing, then we're all going to get better instead of like closing off and having this sort of segregation. And it's going to cause conflict, and it's just that's not really healthy, I guess, in my book, and trying to grow the whole country as a whole. So
Yeah, that's it. Because the rising tide ultimately lifts all ships, etc. But you touched on it. So you've switched to PWA training wise.
Yes.
Before we get there, I just want to ask a very quick side question.
Go for it.
Where did the hot mum stuff come from?
Oh boy, that's a big oh boy. Look, if that's just bloody what's his name, Paris, being a little cheeky bugger. I think it was like it was Instagram or something. I had a nice, wholesome family photo on my Instagram. I'm like, I never do this. It's always me smashing guys or like on cool promo pics or whatnot. I'm going to have a nice photo with me mum and dad. I can't remember if it was just me mum and dad. And then I just get all these comments from bloody Paris, like, "Oh, mamacita, oh, your mum is..." Whatever the fuck he was saying. And then it, like, bleeds into Twitter and stuff, and he's like, every few months will take a jab here and a jab there, and it's like, I don't know what his problem is, but it's past his bedtime, that's for sure. He needs to grow up.
Have you shown your mum these things?
She's none the wiser. I would never show her any of this stuff. I could never do that to my mum. And if my dad finds out about this too, Paris is a dead man, that's for sure. No one's going to mess with Big John Kiedis.
Big John Kiedis. in my head, I just hear, Dorothy Mantooth is a saint. Like, that's it.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's amazing. So, but that
Mother is a saint.
But that led itself. Mama Kiedis is a saint. There we go. It led itself to. I mean, you had a ready-made feud coming into PWA.
You should say that. Yeah. It was whether it was for show or legitimate. I like to think it was pretty legitimate. Paris thinks it's all one big joke, one big laugh, but I don't know about that. But yeah, it led to some pretty interesting stuff.
So he's worked himself into a shoot, brother.
Absolutely. That's a phrase I use quite regularly, and it's quite appropriate here. Absolutely.
Yeah. So you guys come in and you take on the velocity straight up. How was it debuting Black Label and sort of? I mean, obviously we talked about the Battle Royal previous, but proper
That
debut.
doesn't. Yeah, doesn't. No, yeah, that was sick. Just to come in with my boys and squash the velocities. Like, how about that?
It's pretty good.
That's the best way to debut.
Best way to
in
debut.
my book.
Just Max Watts though, like it's just a fucking vibe, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, because I helped out. I'd just been around trying to get on for a while and stuff, and then you finally walk through the curtain, and it's like it's another vibe. It's different sort of atmosphere, different sort of electricity to anywhere I've been to, at least. I can't speak for anywhere else in the country, sort of thing. But like, as far as New South Wales, it's a bloody ripper.
It's next level. Level. And you guys are selling them out now, and so I'm worried about like, where does it go next? Like, can you find somewhere else that has that vibe?
It's weird because selling them out a lot, and there's more demand, which is great, but more people are missing out. There's it's a real catch-22 kind of thing. But also, I think the venue, and it holds I don't know what the capacity is, 500 or something. It's got that cool, intimate underground vibe, which it has, where if it's a bigger venue, depending where it is, it might not have that. So you run the risk of that. But right now, it's great. I love it, eh?
Because you see when people switch from one of those places to say a basketball arena or whatever, and there's just a disconnect. It feels different. MCW did it for their MCW 100, right? They ran the aquatic center there, and it was just, the vibe is so different compared to when they're at the Thornbury.
Yeah.
And so,
absolutely,
I don't envy the people in the PWA office who have to try to find a next venue because we're selling out too much. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, to make those decisions,
So
not at all.
How long were you training with the PWA Academy and stuff before debuting for Black Label?
It's a little over a year or so before I debuted there. Yeah, it was just sort of a transition from APWG and that into PWA. It was about a little over a year or so. But that's just because that's a testament to the quality of talent as well in the Sydney scene, if I may say so. That's just how competitive it is, trying to get spots and that sort of stuff. It's real hungry, but we're all pushing each other, which is a really good vibe as well. So if you're on those shows, you have to be good, sort of thing. So
yeah, it is very competitive. That's where the Green Label stuff came from, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And you were on the first Green Label show too.
I was, yes. I kicked Donnie Mako into a wall. It was bloody great.
How was? Because that venue looks like it has a vibe too, much smaller.
Yeah, it's similar sort of underground vibe. Yeah, it's really small, but in a little quirky sort of way. It's got the low roof, but that adds a lot to it, I think. Because then now you're thinking especially with the main event, light speed and velocities, you're how are they gonna do stuff? And they were still able to.
They still did
still able to do stuff. So it's so it adds elements, and then it's you got the low roof, you got the walls near you, so you can utilize stuff in that environment that you wouldn't normally be able to utilize in a Max Watts or just a regular bigger sort of venue, I guess.
Yeah, the thing that got me though is because you guys are live now, right? You got to work the hard cam, brother. Yeah.
Oh,
but also the crowd was on the opposite side of the hard cam. So
don't get me started on that bloody hard cam. It's because it's the hard cam was the opposite side, but I guess that was mainly for the ring introduction sort of thing, so they can have your nameplate. So they announce you, and you have to turn your back to the crowd and stuff. It's a bit odd, but you get used to it, sort of thing, and it makes sense, I guess, for the OVO people, and I don't know what the crowd are thinking, but I guess they kind of get it. I hope they sort of just are oh yeah, they got to do it there for this sort of reason, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, well, the PWA fans, I mean, for my money, and I've been to a few other places. I've been to Melbourne, I've been to Adelaide. I have not yet been to Darwin, Perth, or Queensland.
Yes.
But you know, I've been to 3 of the major cities, and for my money, the PWA crowd, far and away, the best crowd that I've ever been a part of for watching wrestling.
Yeah.
And they're all smart too, so I figure the crowd will be pretty understanding of it.
Yeah.
But I just thought
I'd
from
like
a
to
work
think so.
standpoint, I'm like, that's got to be frustrating.
Yeah, absolutely. No, but yeah, no, you get used to it. It's fine. We're
Yeah.
workers.
You got to do the work. How good is the OVO play stuff though? Coming back, seeing all the live tweets and everything, like live Aussie wrestling. It's fucking wild.
It's crazy. It's really cool. Like I think we've done sort of like live streams in the past, but like nothing to this extent to where they've set up like, you know, the multi-camera setup and the switching between cameras and all that sort of stuff through like a legitimate app. So like that's a whole nother level. That's really, really cool as well. And just the reaction it's getting, and like, knock on wood, there's been like no issues so far with it. So that's like, yeah, that's a plus.
Yeah, definitely. Big question that I have for you now that you're a PWA boy.
Yes.
Coliseum's coming up. I'm coming up for Coliseum.
Yes. It's on my birthday as well.
It's on your birthday. Wow.
Yes, one of those, the first day, 18th. So, you know.
So we'll have to go out and celebrate. But
Absolutely.
can we expect a Will Kiedis you've been noticed video?
Ooh. You know, possibly.
Is there like
You
an
never know. You
application
never know.
process? Is there like who do you have to talk to? How does a
I
brother
don't know,
get booked for Coliseum?
If I can send me like a resume with some references to like some management and be like, this is why I am eligible and adequate enough to be in the Coliseum.
Just do it in a manila folder, except instead of a top secret stamp in red, it says best booker.
Yes. And they'll be like, oh, maybe I should just book the Coliseum.
Book the Coliseum. Do it.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of the PWA universe, hashtag book the Coliseum at Will Kiedis.
Yeah.
let's do it.
Have Jackson Kelly and Sam Osborne and Brad Alexander in the main event. That's what everybody wants to see.
That's what everybody wants to see.
That's the match.
Look, okay, as a fellow Westie, it hurt me to see you get North Shore wanker chance.
Well, Westie, that's a thing of my past now, but, you know, it happens.
Yeah.
It happens. I feel like, you know, the PWA fans are a little jealous of, like, the Kelly Gang sort of vibe. They're like, oh, why can't we be like those guys? They're cool. So instead of, like, appreciating it, they're sort of just like, no, let's try and, like, push them away, which isn't the right idea, but, you know, they'll do what they'll do and we'll do what we'll do. So, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, because, I mean, I know obviously you've adopted the North Shore lifestyle and stuff, but still, North Shore anchor, I'm like, he's a riff boy.
Yeah.
It hurt me. The Kelly Gang, though, Jackson Kelly himself, he's been a little AWOL lately. I think he's taken off overseas, right?
He was for a bit, yeah. He was in the States killing it, sort of thing, for about 3 or 4 months. But he's back now.
Right.
He's back doing some good stuff. He was at Budgie Boy against Dazza. He'll be at St. John's Park this week for the IWA, so he's been doing some good stuff.
Yeah, because I'm just looking at it specifically within PWA, and I'm like, is it becoming the Osborne Gang? Like, what's going on?
Oh, I don't know about that, eh? I don't know. Maybe we should, yeah. That's a bit of a touchy subject there, Gregory. I don't know.
Because Sam Osborne's been stepping up. He was one of my wrestlers you may not have heard of, but should definitely pay attention to in 2019 because he wrestles good and does other stuff good too.
Yes, all of that he does, yes.
So he was one of my picks, and then obviously he joins the Kelly Gang, and then all of a sudden Jackson Kelly's nowhere, but here's Sam Osborne still in the show. I'm just a bit worried because I'm a big fan of Jackson Kelly.
So am I.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of Osborne as well. They're my boys, so I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to imply. There's no funny business going on. There's no tension of any sort.
So the Kelly Gang is fine.
The Kelly Gang's fine. The Kelly Gang's more than fine.
Famous last words. All right.
Yes.
Where can people find you? What have you got booked this weekend? What's coming up? And where can people find you online?
This weekend, there's IWA St. John's Park. IWA St. John's Park live and loud on Saturday. So that's going to be a bit of a doozy there. Jackson Kelly will be there. Sam Osborne will be there. So that's going to be a hoot. Next week, PWA Black Label, Quarter Arms. That's going to be a big one. Stay tuned for that. But yes, the socials, did you say? I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah. Where can people find you online if they want to follow you around? Yeah.
I'm mainly on Twitter and Instagram. I'm a hoot on both of those things at Will Kiedis 3000. Give it a follow. I do some great tweets and some great Insta stories. They pop everyone.
Yeah.
And Facebook, it's just, if you'd like, Facebook's kind of dead with the page though, but it's Will Kiedis, I suppose.
Right. And let's all tweet PWA Australia, hashtag book the Coliseum, best booker in Australia, Will Kiedis 3000.
It's my birthday. I only want one present. I don't want much. I'm not a greedy fella.
Yeah.
But if I could book the Coliseum,
If you book the Coliseum, what's the prize going to be? Because last year's prize was a sword, dude. A fucking sword.
Oh. If I book the Coliseum, so we had a sword. Look, I'm not good on my feet, Greg. I'll tell you that right now.
A date with Will Kiedis' hot mum.
Oh, I can't guarantee that. All I know is the Coliseum will be filled with on a pole matches. That's my special.
Yes,
that's my specialty. Me, Sam Osborne, Jessica Troy at IWA on tour in January on the summer tour had a barn burner of a $1,000 on a pole match.
Well, maybe that can be the prize. $1,000 on a pole. They get to keep the pole as well.
Jessica Troy is killing it with the pole matches. She's my nemesis in regards to pole matches. I thought I was the king of pole matches, and she's come along and taken that crown, so I'd like to sort of rectify that.
We'll get it back. Yeah. Get it back.
Yeah.
Maybe we can put her PWWA title
I've actually had that idea.
Wilhelmina Kiedis.
Yes, and Jessica Troy and Samantha Osborne will do the IWA Foster rematch for the PWWA Championship on a pole. There it is right there. That's your Coliseum main event.
There you go. And these are the kind of money ideas you get with the best booker in Australia at Will Kiedis 3000. Thanks so much for coming on the show, brother.
No worries. Thank you very much.
So there you have it. The best booker in Australia at Will Kiedis 3000. Hashtag book the Coliseum. It's amazing. Mr. Reliability. The man with the hottest mum in Australian professional wrestling. Will Kiedis, ladies and gentlemen, if you liked that interview and you like Aussie Grappler interviews, which you must, because you're listening to this show, you even listened to my goddamn 15-minute ramble about Sub-Zero Pro. Lochy Hendricks was on Wide World of Wrestling last week. Also mentioned, of course, on the Turnbuckle, sat down and spoke with Mike Quackenbush. Not really Aussie wrestling, but it's an Aussie podcast, and I love those guys, and I love Mike Quackenbush, so you should fucking listen. If you didn't listen to me at the beginning and press stop and go listen to that show, go listen to that show now, and then come back and find out what's happening this weekend near you. Adam Hoffman, former guest of our show, stopped by Conco and the Fudge, and Wrestle Radio Australia had the new commentator for PWA, a former commentator for OTT over in Ireland, and of course, the first-time commentator for New Japan Pro Wrestling when they did Southern Showdown. Was it Southern Showdown? I feel like I get confused with that WWE show. Don Marnell was on Wrestle Radio Australia, and I believe, I haven't listened to the show yet, but host Todd Eastman also has some thoughts on the Sub-Zero Pro debacle. I'm looking forward to hearing that, actually, because he's close with the Riot City boys, so I imagine there's going to be some juice there. I'm looking forward to it. But this weekend, in New South Wales, IWA are live and loud at St. John's Park Bowling Club. You heard Will Kiedis, he'll be there. Jackson Kelly will be there. Sam Osborne will be there. It's going to be a hell of a show. Get around the Facebook for more details. In South Australia on Friday night, RCW present the Death of Sub-Zero Fatality at the Academy in Hindmarsh. Please go and support everything they've done to salvage this show, to make sure that guys like Richie Taylor, like Unsocial Jordan, like Richard South, I apologize, to make sure these guys are still getting their booking. Riot City Wrestling have stepped in and saved the fucking day. It's amazing. Something I didn't mention before, if you had a ticket to Sub-Zero Pro, that money went to Ayden. You can get a refund. He has offered refunds on the Facebook page. If you send him a message, send Sub-Zero Pro a message. So you can send a message to the Sub-Zero Pro Australia Facebook page. I'll put a link in the show notes. if you have a ticket, you can send a message to them, you can get a refund for your ticket, and the tickets will be $15 at the door, and that money is going to go to Riot City, the people who are actually eating the cost of this show. The tickets that have gone to Ayden, he does not deserve to have that money. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I know that he did pay for the flights. I know that he did get scammed, but there's still no excuse. He backed out. He does not deserve the money. Riot City Wrestling have stepped in and saved the day. Get your refund. Go and pay $15 at the door to watch some amazing wrestling this Friday night in Adelaide. On Saturday, ACW are in Marion for Behind Enemy Lines. All your ACW favorites will be involved. Also, Erica Reed is going to be there. Maverick Mayhew is going to be there. It's going to be a big one. Check out the Facebook for more information. And also on Saturday night, Wrestle Rampage are back 18 plus at the Lion Arts Factory for Revolution. The whole Rampage cast of characters will be there. Rat Daddy, Tommy Knight, Nick Golfus, Corn Dog, AJ Istria, you name it, they'll be there. Big Willie Gibson is another one. There's also some great interstaters on the show. Richard South, Unsocial Jordan, they're both stepping in. SMS taking exception with the fact that Wrestle Rampage is going 18 plus. It's going to be amazing. Definitely get out to that show if you can. And in Victoria on Saturday, MCW Ballroom Brawl. It's basically the Royal Rumble. Winner gets a shot at the MCW World title. We'll also see the final match in the tournament for the Intercommonwealth title between Lochy, Hendricks, and Danny Psycho. It's Lochy's last match before relocating to Florida for Uncle Paul, and he wants to take the title with him. It's going to be a great show. Get around it if you aren't already. And that does it. I know there are probably more shows than that, but again, it's very late and my calendar is not up to date. I did not have the time to fix the calendar this week, so I do apologize. It's been a crazy week in the world of wrestling. There's been so many shows. You can scroll back through the archives to find them. We've talked a lot of wrestling this week. A lot of wrestling. So, yeah, if you like what we do here, you can support us at patreon.com/theb+. You can also get us at co-fi.com/theb+, where you can buy us a coffee. We will do custom episodes for anyone that buys 4 coffees. You can also get custom episodes on the Patreon. We do all sorts of cool things like that at the Patreon. It's the best place to support us. You can also support our sponsors. We appreciate that. You can find us on social media. I am at GregUnchained on Twitter, at TheGregUnchained on Instagram. We collectively are the B+ Wrestle on Twitter because wrestling wouldn't fit. The B+ Wrestling everywhere else. Like, share, subscribe, 5-star review if you like what we do. And thank you so much for listening.